Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hopefully, you all having a very great 3-day weekend of especially, Labor Day and stuff. I gotta say, it's been a long weekend of wrestling. If you've been watching every show, and yes, I do have reviews for all three of those shows uploaded right now, from All Out to NXT Takeover, UK Takeover, I should say, Cardiff, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Royal Quest show also. It was a lot of wrestling shows on Saturday. I did see two of them Saturday in full, but I did see Takeover Cardiff the next day on Sunday and watched the show, and I did review it today. As you all know, I was at All Out, so like I said, you know how that experience went. I already told you, so if you want to hear more about my trip to All Out, please check out the All Out review. It's like I said, it's been a very long, very busy weekend for wrestling, I should say. It was a lot to see, a lot to cover. Some things I still haven't seen. I do want to see that whole little CM Punk interview that happened at Starrcast, though. I will go check that out. But I've already heard, a couple clips here and that. But now, since that very long Saturday of pressing the entire weekend of wrestling has now somewhat kind of come to a close, well, if you should say from Saturday, but not every show. But we are now back again on Monday for Monday Night Raw, and I'm sure everyone's walking into it of how is Raw gonna be shit tonight, huh? Since we've gone through three great other shows on Saturday, but we're back on that bullshit again, folks. And don't get me, it shows here tonight, not all the way, but it looks like they were kind of trying tonight, because I'm sure people have been saying on the internet all night, how are they gonna, counter to AEW or counter to NJPW or NXT. Usually WWE doesn't really do it or care, but that's they don't really care about anything, but still, how would they react? But with Monday Night Raw, Labor Day, especially usually these Labor Day shows kind of come, people kind of, mostly got to shit on it, because usually WWE doesn't have to try during this, but I see some good things tonight. Because where were they live from tonight? Yes, Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to my buddy Steven out there. He's from Baltimore. Hey, and that AEW show will be in that arena. I'm sure he knows I told him this. So if you're watching this, that show you saw tonight on Raw, you may want to think about the AEW in the future if you're going. I'm just telling you, man. You heard what I said. But moving on from that, yes, they were live in Baltimore. And we kicked off the show with Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins for the contract signing for the Universal title at Clash of Champions. Michael Cole was the moderator. Pretty much, he talked about, still they got to defend the tag team titles against Rude and Ziggler, though. So they got double duty that night. Seth says he's been a double champion before, and he will leave as a double champion again. As Strowman said, we're going to be taking on Rude and Ziggler, but it's going to be awkward, when I face, tag partner later on and everything. Rollins pointed out, hey, I beat Brock Lesnar. I slayed the beast. That's something you weren't able to do. Rollins said he would slay the monster also. He signed the contract, but before everything was done, the OC came out, California. I'm going to keep doing that joke. Pretty much, they came out, and as they tried to stop them, AJ pretty much says, you know what? History needs to be made at Clash of Champions. And he said, why did Strowman get a title shot? Or, Rollins even get a title? All they had to do was just look at the belt, because he told Gallows and Anderson, stop looking at my title, because apparently that's how you get title shots around here. You don't got to compete for nothing. You don't got to do a number one contenders match. I just got to look at you for a minute, and then, hey, I get a title shot. So, yeah, AJ kind of making fun of, which is actually kind of true when you look at WWE's things. I'm sure they're mocking it, as to what I kind of heard some people say tonight, too. But, yeah, that's all you got to do to get a title shot. You don't got to earn it. I could just look at you. It Styles from it says, why do Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, he said, and Ziggler get a title shot, huh? Which, why does this makeshift team get a shot, eh? And as the OC got in the ring, Styles pretty much says, you know what? If we don't get what we want, they're not going to get what they want. Cole tried to say something, but Styles said to tell him to shut the hell up or he's going to knock his teeth down his throat, which the people actually popped for. I'm sure they wanted to see Styles knock the shit out of Cole. But pretty much the OC came in. Styles tore out the contract. Braun Strowman literally threw the table at AJ Styles, which was kind of funny. And then next thing you know, them and the OC brawled for a second. So what does this turn to? The obligatory tag team match, of course. It ended up with Seth Rollins and Strowman winning. No, Rollins, who rolled up and Carl Anderson for the pin. Well, once again, yes, Gallows and Anderson lose again. Still looking like job guy henchmen, I feel like. Other than taken seriously, they didn't really have the titles that long. But pretty much AJ got involved. Pretty much Rollins had cleared the ring of them and Strowman. And he hit a suicide dive on Styles. Strowman did his whole running shoulder block thing. But next thing you know, Rude and Ziggler came out and attacked Strowman. Everybody jumped them. Pretty much throwing some steel steps at him then. They were outnumbered. They hit him with a super kick and a glorious DDT. Strowman tried to get back up and take down AJ, but all 5 men jumped him, which they all picked him up and did a big magic killer on him, and then held him up again so AJ could do the phenomenal forearm. So at least it does get heat back on this. Yes, Gallows and Anderson did lose, but with them and Rude and Ziggler, they got some heat back on themselves by beating up the faces. So at least it was working, and the crowd did boo, some good heel heat there. So at least that did work. Baltimore, I will say, the crowd was up and down. There was some points they were dead, but there was some points where they kind of was actually with the show. And I'll get to later on when they were with the show, then, because they kind of died when the second match came around. Because, first off, they had Cedric Alexander being interviewed about Corbin tonight, and then next thing you know, the OC just beat the hell out of him for no reason. He talks about King of the Ring, which I'm sure that was going to factor later on in the night about Cedric having an injury during this King of the Ring tournament, which I thought they would have gone by the whole Cesaro thing last week with his leg, but I'm just telling you right now, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, they beat the hell out of, yes, pretty much after, them beating up Cedric, though, like I said, who was the next? Rude and Ziggler. Oh, yes, I said the crowd died around the second match. And yeah, Rude and Ziggler versus Hawkins and Ryder. Dude, I don't really care. I'm surprised this match even went on even 4 minutes. I'm surprised this wasn't even a squash match. Because, Hawkins and Ryder, you forget these two even the tag team champions of WrestleMania. And it is freaking job guys. So, I guess they gotta still, I don't know, establish, Hawkins and Ryder, not Hawkins and Ryder, but Ziggler and Rude, just to get the makeshift team over by beating up the job guy tag team who were the champions. But dude, no one cares about Hawkins and Ryder. I don't think anybody in that crowd cared about this match in general. So I just kind of sat there, just kind of walking around for a second. I think I was starting to get something to drink during that time. So I did not care for that match. It was whatever, to be honest, and I don't think anyone cared. Also, it's Hawkins and Ryder and Rude and Ziggler, so who gave two shits, to be honest. But moving on from that, Lacey Evans, or some would say Botch Evans versus Natalya. As Lacey Evans was walking out, Natalya pretty much attacked her from behind as her entrance played, pretty much attacking her then. Other than the match was better this week. I thought the finish looked kind of lame, if you ask me, of, Natalya, Evans throwing a handkerchief at Natalya and then just hit her with the woman's right for the win. So that was kind of ridiculous to me. At one point, what Natalya called Evans, I'll show you who's the nasty bitch now. So, that happened, but listen, this was a better match, I will say that, because it was way better than the one with Bayley on SmackDown, because Bayley had to carry her. Come on, let's not forget the arm drag right at the beginning of the match, so when it was even said, just arm drag right off the bat. Arm drag. Okay? But, other than her saying arm drag, it was a better match, I will say that. At least the crowd was actually behind Natalya. They chanted her name, and it looked like they tried to give Natalya an edge. I don't know where this is going to go with her losing all the time. Maybe it turns a heel. I don't know. But at least, like I said, at least this was a better match. At least maybe because Natalya had to carry Botch Evans and Evans or something. Or maybe just better in general. But it was way better than the one that happened on SmackDown. Moving on then, Becky Lynch came out. Of course, they got to hype her appearance on Stone Cold's show. I was watching a little about that not that long ago. I'll probably check the rest of it out later with Austin on her on his show. But pretty much Becky was out here, pretty much had to talk about Sasha Banks. She heard what she said. It was a load of crap. Becky pretty much said that Sasha was the centerpiece of NXT, and you got to be the main event of Raw and SmackDown, while I was still, in the shadows at the bottom right now. And that said, Lynn said that the company, they gave you bouquets of flowers after your matches. What did I get? Nothing. I was barely on here. Becky pretty much said that Sasha's a delusional little weirdo. The weirdo. I like the weirdo. Something about that's really funny. Make a t-shirt out of that. And pretty much, Becky pretty much said that, everything was going fine. Well, Bayley's been doing fine without you, ever since you left, Sasha. So, Bayley's doing way better for herself. And that, with her, you not being around, it's been a game changer lately. So pretty much Lynch called her a blue-haired freak and called her out and said we could fight right now. Sasha came out and pretty much said that Becky, you was right about doing all this other stuff, because I was supposed to be main event WrestleMania. I was supposed to, be on magazine and have all the fame. My buddy's making more and more sense now when he says that Sasha's promo is a little like Ziggler of, it should have been me. But this was a better promo than what Sasha put on last week. Sasha pretty much said that the only reason Becky even got any of these things because Nia Jax broke your face. And you know what? I wish she would break my face. I can get that famous also. And says, you want to make things personal. Listen, this is business, okay? She was going to fight, but pretty much says, I don't have to fight for free for any of these people in Baltimore tonight. Sasha pretty much says, I'll face you at Clash of Champions, okay? And at Clash of Champions, when I get the title, she said that the man is going to be the boss's bitch at Clash of Champions. So that's going to happen. They then went to the Street Profits for some reason, just to act like they were shocked, and says, we gotta go to commercial. So nothing much from the Street Profits. But I now know why they don't have the NXT tag titles, by the way, after seeing the match last Wednesday. So that answers another question there, why they don't show up with the belt some more, because they lost the titles back to the Undisputed Era. So there you go on that. But this was a better promo from Sasha and Becky, and it was enjoyable. So it was better than what she put on last week. So I did like the promo though. Baron Corbin winning against Cedric Alexander in the quarterfinal for the King of the Ring tournament match. This was actually a very good match. Damn near great. Some say Corbin's best match, maybe due to Cedric Alexander being out there. Cedric is just great. I will say one thing that's been only been the really great parts of Raw was the King of the Ring matches. I will say that. Those have probably been the most entertaining. And the crowd was definitely with this one. Because Corbin was dodging a lot of Cedric's moves. I did like with Cedric. Pretty much had a mention driver for a big near fall. Even did that springboard thing he does, which is insane. I don't know what was with that drop kick he tried to do earlier. Like he just hit him with one foot. I know it was a missile drop kick, but it just didn't even look like that good. It didn't even hit him. It like he just flew. He didn't even hit him with the missile drop kick. I just saw that. Even that deep six, I thought it was a DDT, but they said it was a deep six stand. But, Corbin tripped Cedric on ropes and hit him with the end of days for the win. But it was a very good match, though. Very, very good match. Corbin pretty much went back and sat on the throne again, holding the stuff, the crown, the scepter, and everything. But Cedric lose, I guess it's an out right here since he was attacked early in the night. So I guess he had an injury and stuff. So at least it gave him an out. But I kind of figured Corbin was going to win this match anyways due to the OC jumping him early in the night. So that is true. I kind of figured that was going to happen. Charlie Caruso interviewed Bayley, which now at least she has a legitimate reason to be on Raw this week other than last week. But hey, that's wild cards for you. But they asked her about Sasha being back and, why come you been silent, and talk about how the tag belts meant nothing to her at WrestleMania. And Bayley pretty much said that, yeah, I've talked with Sasha, that's her best friend, but I'm not going to show you the details right now, okay? Yeah, she took her ball and went home, but I decided to stay around and tough it out, and that's why I'm the SmackDown Women's Champion. But Caruso said, what do you feel about being overshadowed by Becky, that, she's the one that with the top title right now and running the women's division, while you're just being the secondary one being overshadowed by her. Bayley said that's not gonna, she wasn't gonna let anything overshadow the SmackDown Women's Champion. And yeah, I beat Nikki Cross last week. I'm gonna do it with Bliss again because I'm tagged with Becky tonight, and we'll see who's standing in whose shadow at the end of the night. So good promo from Bayley, which, you know, at least they, like I said, they finally mentioned Sasha with her, because a lot of people wondering, like, why did Sasha mention Bayley or Bayley mention Sasha? I was like, there are two different shows and two different feuds, but at least now they have something to do with this now, so we'll give them that. Two job guys stood in the ring for, once again, the Viking Raiders, War Machine, whatever they call it this week, went against them. War Machine, Viking Raiders won, squash. I don't even know how many weeks this is anymore. All I know is when they come out now, the crowd is literally crickets out there that no one cares. Okay, it's like, you know, church mice out there. Like, I could drop a pin and that's the only thing that'll probably be heard. So I don't know how many times they're gonna keep. I don't even know how many times they're gonna keep doing this. Okay. I swear I've seen these guys beat up job guys now for like what? I don't know, 2 months now. I feel like, I don't know how many times, but I don't even really care that much, because like now I see the Viking Raiders, like, who are they facing this week? Job guys, enhancement talent. Oh, I can just walk away and it'll be over in the next minute. I come back, probably from getting something to drink and go into the bathroom or something. Until this goes somewhere, I don't really care. Some people are, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna say, why didn't they just keep him in NXT? I wondered that too sometimes myself. Hey, NXT's going back 2 hours. Why don't you just send them back down there? Maybe they'll be doing something in whatever this is right now. Sarah Schreiber showed up trying to get an interview from Sasha, saying that, you know, if she was rooting for her best friend Bayley in the show. And I guess Sasha figured, like, I know what you tried to do here. And pretty much says, get the hell out of my face, pretty much screamed at Schreiber as she ran off then. So, that was a good point, though. It's like, you want me to turn against Bayley, don't you? You try to let me turn on my friend. No question. So, get out of my face. Samoa Joe then went against Ricochet in the quarterfinal for the King of the Ring tournament. Joe cut a promo saying he's going to be the King of the Ring. Ricochet had a pre-tape promo. This was a good match until the finish. I don't know how Samoa Joe bled on his head at one point. I think it was from a I don't know if it was from a kick Ricochet did, but this match was getting good, and we've seen these two face before. But when we got to the finish, when Joe tried to put the Coquina Clutch on Samoa Joe on the top rope, that's it, Coquina Clutch on Samoa Joe. Well, with Joe put in the Coquina Clutch, though, and pretty much Ricochet fell back, and then both men pretty much had, you know, their arm over each other, you know, the shoulder and whatnot. The arm, and pretty much it was a double pin. So pretty much I knew where this was going. Other than that, it was a bullshit finish, of course. But then for some reason the referee has to go to the headset. It said from the vantage point, both shoulders were down, and then they were. I guess he was talking to backstage and management in the back, and pretty much said, you know what, we gotta investigate this. And Ricochet pretty much told the referee, say he won, what is the ruling, but I guess he gotta check backstage, even though this was clearly a double pin that everybody saw. But for some reason the referee has to go put on. I've never seen a referee had to go, you know, talk to the guys in the back, say, okay, we gotta talk in the back and see how this goes. And then Joe and Ricochet kept fighting until Ricochet hit his recoil move on him and knocked him down from that point. But I guess now the ref had to go backstage because we don't know who won, so it doesn't really make sense. Just the finish in general, you could tell by that crowd, they look kind of really pissed off about that too. Strowman and Rollins were in the back. They don't like that Stone Cold, which, by the way, they're in Madison Square Garden next week. I wonder if they sold out those shows, because Undertaker will be on SmackDown too. But Austin will be the moderator next week, and Strowman pretty much said that, you know, your Austin praised him a few weeks ago in that Skype interview, and Rollins pretty much said, you know, you're more concerned with Austin than getting beat up by 5 guys earlier. And he said, yeah, Austin will be moderating next week, but if Austin gets out, Stone Cold gets out of line, he's gonna get these hands. I'm sure Stone Cold will probably stunner both of them in the week, if I'm not mistaken, because hey, it's Austin. Don't trust anybody, okay? So for some reason I would expect that. We then went to the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt, as he went to talk about his friend, the Fiend that did the Finn Balor, that he was sorry. But then next thing you know, Devil Vince McMahon puppet shows up and pretty much said that, Why are you challenging Rollins or Strowman at Hell in a Cell? I didn't even know we were getting ready to that point of that match already. I guess it will be. But then the Vince puppet kept talking. He says, yo, you're fired. But then next thing you know, Bray Wyatt had a whole bunch of cash. And Vince, he got those dollar signs in his eyes. So he sees money. Vince loves money. So I guess Bray Wyatt is like, hey, I'm money. Okay, I'm giving you money. I'm making you money. So you got to give me this match. Okay, so he pretty much fed Vince the money. That's the only way to set him straight, because Vince McMahon loves money, and I'm sure he sees money in this. I'm sure he loved this segment too in general as he was watching it in the back. But as the Vince left, Bray Wyatt said I was close because he's got the money. I'm the draw, and then pretty much put the money behind him. And he said that he said that Seth and Strowman, they don't work well together, okay? And that I think he said they took some from him or something, and that they're selfish and greedy, and that, they took some from him in the past life. I'm trying to wonder what Strowman leaving the Wyatt family, and what is Seth taking from him? You know what? I probably don't remember, and I probably don't know. So someone give me some insight on that if necessary, because unless we're going to go back from the Shield and the Wyatt family, I don't know any other reason. Strowman, at least there's something from it, I believe. But Wyatt pretty much talked about teamwork, and then next thing you know, the Rabbit, Huskus, what was it, the Witch, Shabby the Witch, and the Buzzard showed up, Mercy there. They came to him as Wyatt pretty much said, we're going to cope with the pain that the Fiend inflicts on him. And then he said, with a smile, see you in hell. Hey, I'm sure a lot of people are going to see him there. But we'll all see him there. But just kidding. But he said that. And then he pretty much got serious and he said, let me in. His face turned into the Fiend mask, which they went on from there. So another good segment from Wyatt. And I thought the Vince McMahon thing was kind of accurate when you look at it. So, hey, man. Money. I'm money. Okay, you like money, right? I'm the money. I'm the guy you need to push. This pretty much tells you that Bray Wyatt will get a title shot, most likely, against whoever wins the Universal title between Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, or he'll show up in the end of that pay-per-view and he will become the challenger before it. So, and then like someone told me, like, okay, if he's the new challenger at Hell in a Cell, he can't lose, right? He cannot lose at Hell in a Cell, which he's kind of right, because we're pushing him really big right now, and this is a fresh character, and it's getting over, so he can't lose right now when you think about it. So, where do we go from that? I don't know. They then went to John Cone, talking about the finish of the Ricochet and Joe match. Corbin pretty much says, I should move on to the finals, but I figured this was going to happen. He says, you know what? They're not eliminated. Triple threat match next week. Personally, I feel like that's kind of lame, as, Corbin pretty much like, triple threat? You gotta be kidding me. Which, I don't know, man. Corbin just sound kind of weird. Like, oh, come on, man. Like, I gotta do that. Like somebody said, the guy sounded like he was like 8 or 10 out there just saying that. Like, what? Next week? Triple threat? Look, his delivery was so bad, okay? His delivery was like, triple threat? Why you gotta do this for? Come on, man. So, it just sounded kind of lame, really. But why do we need a triple threat match? I don't even know. I wouldn't even be surprised if Corbin even went through, because this company loves pushing Baron Corbin. Come on, he's already beating Cedric tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the whole tournament, like I said before. Don't be surprised if this guy pins Samoa Joe next week, okay? So, I wouldn't be surprised, because usually Joe eats a lot of these pins, to be honest, because it's either that I have Ricochet pin. The only reason why I say Joe, because he just takes so many L's, which I kind of even question that list now. I'm looking at that whole PWI 500 thing, which, I've seen that list, and there's a lot I agree, and there's a lot I don't. There's a lot I don't really agree with who was on that list, but we're going by a year span on here, and if it's one thing that I really notice is this. We're going on win-loss record, right? Samoa Joe has lost more matches than he has won in the past year. So how is this guy number 11 in the 500 list? I want you to tell me that if he's lost more, and that's one of the criterias to it. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's lost more than he won. How's he number 11? How is he over a lot of those guys on that list? Shit. Tell me. Makes no sense. They then went to Rey Mysterio, as he talked about, his son pretty much telling him not to give up, and he had a moment, and that to keep fighting, and pretty much, Mysterio said that, his son's grown up in the WWE family and everything, And we always have to push our kids and stuff and push them to their dreams. But he pretty much says that I'm not done yet. So yeah, Ray is still he's still gonna be around. There's more left to do. Cesaro, who put a very great match on with that Durgov. I'm sorry if I don't get his name right. Durgov match last Saturday, which I thought that was great. What do we do with Cesaro after he put on a great match? At this point, I said leave the man down there in the UK NXT and put it with Cassius Ohno and reform the Kings of Wrestling. What do they have him do? They have him lose to the freaking Miz. You know why? Because he's got to go against Nakamura at the next pay-per-view. We got to make him look strong. So yeah, Cesaro puts on a fantastic, very fantastic match back on Saturday. What do they do? Bring him back to Raw, lose to the Miz, folks. Not that really good. Almost some people look at it as a punishment, almost, to be honest. So I just thought that was ridiculous. But hey, we got to push Miz for the title. Cesaro can put on these great matches at TakeOver, but now we put him into this. So I don't know. Like I said, go look at my UK review. Look at my UK review. They won't push him here, but TakeOver, the guy looked like a freaking star out there by himself. Okay, but then next thing you know, we went to the main event. The women's tag belts, which I'm surprised they'll still exist. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Becky and Bayley. The match itself was kind of whatever. It was okay. I'm sure a lot of people say it was bad, mostly because Bliss was in the match in general. Then again, those tag belts are just, I don't really care. Okay, I don't think a lot of people really care about those tag belts right now between Bliss and Cross. I already said it before, kill the belts. But the most important part to this is what happened after it, since it was a no contest because Sasha got involved in an attack. Becky, Sasha grabbed a chair. She was going to slam Becky with it, but Bayley stopped her. And pretty much it looked like she was going to hit Sasha, I think, with it as she stopped her. As they looked at each other, but Bayley smiled at Banks. And the next thing you know, she started hitting Becky with the chair in, as fans popped for it and people chanting yes, yes, yes as the announcer was like, why? Personally, I was like, Bayley made the right choice. Why turn on your best friend? That promo made sense. So heel turn, good. I don't mind it. I'm sure a lot of people were happy seeing that because this company has booked Bayley horribly as a face in the past few years. Okay, turning heel, I got no problem with that. Personally, I liked it, and that crowd liked it too. So like, hey, why turn on your friend? Join her. There's a point where she said, I'm not going to let anyone overshadow me, and I'm not going to let Becky overshadow me, and I'm the champion also. So yeah, there you go. I'm all for this heel turn. Boston Hug Connection heel, I got no problem with that. So we'll see what comes from it. Now there's a problem with that still, because if she's facing Charlotte on SmackDown, who is already a heel, are they going to turn Charlotte face? I don't think so. So what is it now? Bayley versus Charlotte, heel versus heel? Because that's technically how you look at it right now, since that's going on. So could it be a heel versus heel thing now? I'm not really sure between Bayley versus Charlotte, until we see something on SmackDown tomorrow night, then we'll know. But heel Bayley, I ain't got no problem with that. I said she made the right choice. Help Sasha. Good. Crowd loved it. Make Bayley heel. Why have Bayley versus Sasha when you can just team both of them up? I'm sure a lot of people didn't see it coming. I kind of thought about it early in the night. Like, you know what? Why would we just make both Bayley and Sasha heel and let's see what comes from it? I'm sure people would think it was going to be Sasha versus Bayley again. Well, you thought wrong, folks. So, I don't mind this. I like this decision. Heel Bayley. Heel Bayley and Sasha. Now, the company 9 times out of 10 will screw this up in general, but right now, I'm all for it. Crowd loved it. They popped for it. That's the most thing to talk about out of this whole match was the post-match angle, and I liked every little part of it for the few seconds it was with a chair shot, and the crowd loved it too. So we'll see what comes from it. I had to clap my hands to that, definitely. But Raw in general, there's some things that were bad. There's some things that were good. Am I gonna say this show sucked? Not really. I thought they had some good parts. Heel Bayley, yeah. King of the Ring matches, yeah, but I still think that whole finish was retarded, and why are we even doing a triple threat match next week? But like I said, don't be surprised if Corbin wins again. What else? The Sasha promo's better this week. Viking Raiders, I don't care what job guys they face. It's just whatever. Rune Ziggler beating, Hawkins and Ryder, don't care. At least they got some heat beating up Strowman and Ziggler. Strowman and Rollins. And, the beginning was all right and everything. I will say that. I still think that finish looked ridiculous with Lacey Evans and Natalya. What else? We didn't get any 24/7 belts this week. So I guess they thought they had to go in something a little bit bigger this time. But, yeah, pretty much. Shit. I almost messed up, but yeah. Other than that, Raw wasn't bad. I thought I thought it was a good show. Some things suck, some things were still good, but you had your up and down with this. I thought Baltimore was a good crowd, at least throughout time and time. So yeah, I think there are some things to talk about. There were some things to talk about. But other than that, I'm done with this review. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought about Raw tonight. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Check out my NXT UK Cardiff review. Check out my Royal Quest review. And check out my All Out review that are posted online right now. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this very, very long weekend of wrestling. Still got more to go throughout the week too. So yeah, things are changing around here right now. It's going to be a lot more reviews coming in. And you know what? I may have to start thinking about these whole AEW NXT things of how that's going to go too. But that'll be saved for a later date. But other than that, check out all those reviews and check out this review also. So once again, it's me, H-double-D, coming here with the news and the reviews. I know what I do. Came and I saw. Now we are done with this review of Monday Night Raw. I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.